The design of it is just excellent. It was made by a farmer for farmers. Simple, quick if you want to take it off, quick if you want to put it on. At harvest, everybody's in a rush, and that's what they want. Something that works, and it works.
Yes, initially they looked good. They looked like they would be the cat's meow on a flex header, and they were.
Yeah, they're quite an invention, and I think as far as pulse crops go, the best lifter out there on a flex header for sure.
Well, the Flexxifinger pulse crop lifter works just great in pulse crops. That seems to me that's what it's designed for, and it works great.
There's lots of features that we really like about the Flexxifinger pulse crop lifter. The most, I guess, is the versatility of it to be quick detached to put on and off. As you can see, it's only seconds to put it on and off the combine.
The way they come off and on is just amazing, because you just lift this little spring and slide it off. So if you get into a situation where your vines get tough early in the evening or something like that, you can take them off literally in a matter of minutes. Everybody says it can be done in minutes, but this is a minute thing. I mean, if I can take them off in seconds with one hand, obviously, you know, there's nothing to it. It's just that simple. It comes off. It's got a quick attach system. It comes off and goes on. You know, you can do it just about with one hand.
The quick detach mechanism is probably, in my opinion, the biggest plus going for it. There are certain conditions this year when the lentils were standing up a foot tall, and I could take them off and put them on in less than 5 minutes. We had a 30-foot header taking them off or put them on. They're very simple to do.
I've been using the Flexxifinger crop lifter for 2 years. It's my second season I've used it. I've used it mainly on peas and lentils. The big advantages I found with the crop lifter is it's easy to take off within 5 minutes on a 30-foot header. It's off. 5 minutes, it's back on.
We installed them on our flex headers, and we found them quite easy to install. You got the nut in the right height, so when you slid the finger on the guard, it fastened into the nut. And once they're properly installed, they were very quick to take the Flexxifingers back off. Off and on is a very easy process.
What I liked about these lifters was the easy on and off feature they have. We could do it in the middle of the field, just bang, 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 they're off in the back of the truck. The steel ones, we'd have to go back to the yard, take us about 2 hours, 3 hours to switch, and then we'd be back out in the field. But with these, they're in and out, and they don't take up much space. And we don't lose them in the field like we did with the steel ones.
The other features to be able to adjust the angle of the lifter for the field conditions that you're in at the time. Very quick, just adjust with the wrench. We found them very durable, very serviceable.
The initial thing that sold us on the product was the safety factor of using the plastic finger.
One good thing about the lifters that we really were impressed about, they have a tail behind them that kind of lifts the crop after it's cut up over the knife, so you don't have your pulse crops laying on your knife, so your crop can slide underneath. It does lift it up and over the knife and keeps the knife a lot clearer.
The beauty of the Flexxifinger pulse crop lifter, if you have to replace a plastic finger, you take a pair of pliers, you turn it and pull it out to replace a new one. You push it in, turn it, and it's done. 10 seconds, you can replace the plastic finger, which is a real plus.
As you can see, they're very quick to change in and out that finger. They're small to fit in a toolbox, to carry a few extra parts with them, and just the whole lifter, I mean, from start to finish, from attaching to the combine, to changing the angle, to change the nylon finger. Everything is basically seconds to change. So a lot of times, if you had to go through a major change to do a few hours work, you say to heck with it and leave it. But here everything is so quick and simple that we make the adjustments just regularly as we need them.
Other lifters, you don't, if you get to a point, because the canopy is tough, that you have to take them off, it's such an involved process that you don't want to put them back on, because if you don't know that they're going to work for sure, or that the conditions are dry enough for them to work, you don't want to put them back on because it's too time consuming. So you just run without them unless you know conditions are ideal. These you can kind of change them as at whim or at will, and you're not sacrificing a lot of time.
They've done what they're supposed to do. And any little minor adjustments, we do it right there in the field, and off the combine, bang, done, back in the combine. Within a mile in the field, we've usually got them all set where we want them. We're gone for the rest of the day.
The main benefits that we had were probably in lentils. We went into some fields where they're laying one way or the other, to where they were just about impossible to get without the lifters, and I think we probably gained somewhere in that 15 to 20%.
They helped so much in the down pulse crops that we paid for the lifters in the first field. So we were very happy.
I went over crop area that we had used other lifters on, and it's superior in pickup, whereby we went over a crop that we had combined and just went back over a strip with these lifters on, and we picked up vines that we'd never touched with other lifters on.
We were doing peas down on my son's land. We had the fingers installed. We were going across the seeded direction, trying to get the peas up off the ground. We were getting the odd stone. So we thought we'd stop and take the lifters off, which took us approximately 5 minutes. We went about 80 feet. We stopped and put the fingers right back on because we felt we went from about getting 10% up to 80% of the crop.
The bottom line with these lifters is the yield. We've gained the yields in our lentils with these lifters, probably from 2 to 5 bushels an acre for sure, depending on crop conditions. But we have gained because we are not shelling like we were before. And the ground is not green. There is some loss from, but that's combining. And we will not go back to the steel lifters again because these work.
We had a crop that was lodged. Without the Flexxifinger cutting the one way, I was probably losing between a half mile and 3/4 of a mile in speed because I could not pick the crop off the ground. Using the Flexxifinger, I had virtually no problems. It picked the crop right off the ground, even in the lodge conditions, and it made harvesting those peas very easy.
In some pea fields that were very flat, we had up to an 8 bushel per acre increase when we had the lifters on. Really paid for themselves very quickly.
We had neighbors combining beside us. They were combining all one way. We had on the crop pulse Flexxifingers, and we were combining both ways and doing just as good a job or better than they were going all one way. So it saved us a lot of time, which time is money.
In my opinion, the Flexxifinger pulse crop lifter is one of the best lifters out in the market today. For the simplicity of usage, and it's easy to adjust, easy to take off when you have to.
We're sold on these. We're not going back to the steel ones for the pulses. We're just not.
Initially, they looked to us as maybe they were a little expensive when you see them. But after using them for the first day, they were paid for it, we're really happy.